What's going on, guys? We're going to be looking at some RBJJ content. You guys love RBJJ? And man, it's crazy how much RBJJ has grown. It's got 841K. Wow, impressive, man. I think when I started posting on there, it was like 200 or 100,000, maybe less. Let's see what we got on RBJJ. So it says the silver medal worth it. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if I can turn this audio down. It's kind of close, but I'll see. Unfortunately, if you guys know Wagner Hosha, he was just hospitalized for heart failure. Very influential athlete in the sport. You guys know, like, Wagner, ADCC competitor, got second place this year or last year, 2024. And, family man. So sad to see this. He has his daughter and his son both competing. They both did ADCC. This last one alongside him. So yeah, prayers to him. Yeah, I mean, he's still young, 42. I'm not too far from that. And of course, got 688 upvotes. We can go into the comments real quick, see what they're saying. I'm sure, RBJJ, usually not pretty good. Just kind of reading a little bit. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are interested, you guys can go and read that for yourself. But again, well wishes, hope he gets back on his feet. Let's see. Next up, we got $1,000 cancellation fee. Oh man, oof. Let's click on that one. That one seems pretty good. Says, who has ever heard of this? My gym charges you $1,000 cancellation fee if you don't give them a 30-day notice. Oopsie on my part. I already canceled membership without the 30-day notice, so I can't use bad language on here, guys. I already messed up, but seems pretty steep. Yeah, I've never heard of a $1,000 cancellation fee. I'm not sure what kind of contract he was on. Yeah, that's some pretty shady practicing. Usually, some contracts you do have a cancellation fee depending on when you canceled. Maybe he just started like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and then wanted to cancel. So maybe that's like what's left on his contract. Yeah, we don't know everything. That's something I gotta say for everybody. We don't know the real story, usually the full story behind a lot of these posts. So don't take it too seriously. Let's see. Best petty response ever. Post their cancellation fee on Google Maps review and then complain. Tell them you'll take the review down for $1,500. Okay, some extortion. There we go. Let's see. Such a great answer. Blows my mind. Schools think it's okay to rip off their students. In business, bro, I've seen everything. Let's see. Just don't pay it. 100% unreasonable fees can be dismissed by courts. They try to sue, even if they get it, wouldn't be worth their court costs. Yeah. I'm sure they can work this out. It's almost not worth going to court. And this has to be in America, because in other countries, they don't charge anywhere near $1,000 for anything. Someone says, my gym is a little over 200 for new signups and has a similar fee that requires you to pay out a certain amount of total contract if you get out. They also took quite a bit of PPP loans during COVID while continuing to charge members, claiming they would recoup us. They deleted the media posts and took our money. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of schools were doing that. Some of the bigger schools too. Yeah, yeah, it sucks. Hopefully they can work this out, before posting about any of this stuff. Obviously get some advice, but always try to talk to the instructors beforehand, before it gets out of control. And here's someone with a counterpoint. No, it doesn't make sense the way you're explaining it. Presumably, the 30 days is the billing cycle. So why would they charge you $1,000 instead of just charging you for the next month, after which your membership would be canceled? You should add this to the OP. You'll have to pay 40% of what's remaining on your 12-month contract. That makes sense, as you agreed to pay X amount for a year, and now you're breaking the contract. The penalty is 40% of your remaining annual balance, which seems to be $2,500. So it's not really a fee as much as you're getting out of paying another $1,500. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He must owe $1,000 or some percentage, or maybe a little bit more than whatever, $1,000. I mean, some students will try to cancel that contract, and a lot of the schools depend on knowing, they go based off contracts, and then they know, okay, we're going to be able to pay this off, pay off the rent, pay off whatever other programs, their billing software, the gas, the water, whatever bills they have to pay. So they're taking into account the membership at the time, you signed a year membership. So when some people will try to cancel kind of out of the blue, and, I guess the guy just, again, didn't get the 30 days notice. I think it is good business to give that 30-day notice as a student. Say you have to move or you're switching gyms. Okay, give the 30-day notice. Or, again, try to talk with the instructor, the owner of the school, to figure something else out. Communication seems to be key. So let's see this one. What is this guard? I mean, dang, that looks like a De La Riva. You got Pato and Adam Benayoun. Some people call this Mantis guard or R guard or something. It looks like a De La Riva to me. Nogi De La Riva. It's just the hook's not put in pretty deep. It's just kind of shallow. And this just keeps pressure off your knee. If you got bad knees and you always try to put in the De La Riva, it can be kind of rough. Someone said, been watching some Diego Pato highlights recently and just noticed this guard quite a lot in Nogi. What is it called? Just a disengaged De La Riva. Open guard. You need to show the next couple of frames in the video. Open guard. Not much of a guard in the picture. Here's what he would play from this. Reverse De La Riva, our guard. Not really sure what he does. We would need a video or a better image of him in actual guard. Let's see. Almost De La Riva. The next guy says he's not actively doing a specific guard. I'd say he has an ankle grip. His legs are generally in front of him to defend and do something, and maybe he is looking for a De La Riva. Excuse me. If this was in the gi and he also had a collar in Brazil, we'd call it pants and collar guard. Might be setting up De La Riva, or because he's so much on hip, maybe our guard without the feet crossed yet. Yeah, so our guard just means to have the feet crossed in that same kind of positioning. So this is his match with Adam. Pato is looking to transition into De La Riva, into a type of De La Riva called R guard here. He goes over this briefly in Fix My Game YouTube video if you want more info. I believe he hits this false reap off of it in this match. He goes over the setup in more detail on his instructional on AOJ. Shallow De La Riva, just an open guard. How's this even a question? R guard. Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff just has different names. Let's see. Master 6 flying armbar. Way. Hip hop pioneer solo. I don't know that guy. Pretty amazing. Let's watch that again. That was pretty quick. Dun, dun, dun. Wee. I mean, man. Might be too old to be jumping like that, Master 6. Go and jack up your vertebrae, your hip, your neck. Yeah, you gotta be careful doing that stuff, guys. White belt De La Riva guard. I mean, shoot, bro. Listen, De La Riva's De La Riva, guys. Go play it. Especially in the gi. Let's see. Dealing with aggressive wrestlers. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm liking these things. Some Reddit posts aren't bad. Let's see. I've been having issues rolling with this guy who has a wrestling background, but who is getting into BJJ. I have much more trouble with him than I do with a lot of higher belts. I mean, pretty simple. He's been wrestling as long as those higher belts or longer. So he's been grappling. A ton of grappling experience. He's slightly bigger than me, but I think I'm stronger. He probably not, bro. But he's early 30. He's early 20s. I'm early 30s. Okay, well, he's not only bigger but faster and younger and more experienced. Of course, he's gonna give you trouble. Basically, I start from open guard and try to sweep or submit from bottom. I usually have decent success with this, but not with this guy. I just can't seem to sweep him. Of course, he has a great base. None of the techniques I usually use from open guard work. I can't get him into X or single leg X, and I can't tripod sweep. Of course not. I know it sounds like I'm being harsh, but it's true. I also can't use spider guard because he only trains no-gi. Well, yeah, it's tougher. Well, man, it even makes it harder. So you're playing no-gi against a younger, faster, I think probably stronger and more experienced person, and you can't do anything to them. That's welcome to grappling, guys. I make it hard. I make it quite hard for him to pass. But he does end up passing. It doesn't really feel like he can put much pressure on me from top, but he's so fast and dynamic at transitioning between dominant positions, which is why I can't sweep him. Usually he'll make it to mount, but I can always easily escape out the back door, but he's good at transitioning to side control from there. I then usually either go half guard or can't sweep or submit or turtle up, and he usually takes my back. We just keep alternating between these positions from the whole round, and I can't get him off of me. It feels like he's just floating, not really putting much pressure on me, but constantly moving. Yeah, it seems like because he's bigger, he's just focusing on his movement, and you can't deal with that. I mean, he's just a better grappler. Someone told me I should try wrestling up instead of sweeping, and it seems promising. Can someone suggest a way to deal with this kind of opponent? I mean, man, it's rough. I mean, I guess you would have to improve your guard. Yeah, you're gonna have to really improve your guard. I'm trying to think of someone that's really. I mean, Marcelo Garcia is probably the best grappler on the against wrestlers. Almost counter wrestling. You have that style like Marcelo, so like hook sweeps work really well, and specifically no-gi hook sweeps, kicking under single leg X, leg entanglements. He didn't mention anything about going for the leg, so I think that's something he should maybe look at. Not always the easiest thing to get into, but it's one area where you can have a distinct advantage over someone with a good base. And then you have like the more Gumby guys, guys like Renee, guys that play like, like the buggy choke, which is kind of super, it's like the opposite of wrestling. And, you have the Troy bar. So I think there's other attacks he can use. He's just, I mean, man, you guys have the internet. You have so many resources now. Man, use it. I guess he's using it on Reddit, but I mean, just go on YouTube. And I mean, it's hard to beat people. The guy's seems to be a better grappler. So I mean, that's like me complaining about beating. It's like me complaining about trying to beat Marcelo Garcia or Lucas Lepre or someone. Like, man, what am I gonna do? Of course I can fight, but if they do something and I'm like, man, I can't sweep him. Like, of course you can. He's super good. Let's see what the people say. Say if he's newest to BJJ, he's going to lead with his head, like most wrestlers do. Yeah, guillotines, triangles, loop chokes are their kryptonite. I don't know if he's tried this or not, but it seems like the guy's too fast for him to even set this up. Sweeping them is very difficult because they have an ingrained sense of base. Yes, he does definitely lead with his head. Can't do loop chokes because no-gi. And he seems very aware of triangles. Is there a way to guillotine someone from open guard? I mean, open guard means everything, right? Wrestle up, bro. Stand up, let him shoot. You know he will. And as you go to the ground, guillotine city. I guess I'll need to work on my guillotines. I think that will only work a few times before he catches on. Well, that's jujitsu, man. If he will shoot, it will work all day. The only issue is he might stop shooting after a while. At the end of the day, it's all about relative skill and strength. Yeah. People with good guillotine defense can shoot head outside single legs, considered relatively at risk to guillotines all day long, and put their head in the pocket, and they won't get guillotined until they meet someone with an even better, stronger guillotine. People with good guillotines can bait blast doubles and head inside singles all day and find a way to maneuver the head into the pocket and finish until they meet someone with even better guillotine defense and takedown finishes. Guillotine offense and defense have a lot of moving parts. It's not about one single detail like keep your head up and shrug your shoulders. It's way more than just that. A good guillotine specialist will adjust their attack depending on your defense and vice versa. Yeah, some people just got your number too. That might be the case. You just got your number. Let's see. You have to make him think you're going for something else and trap him. For example, fake hip bump sweep, and then he reacts by pressing into you. You snap on guillotine, etc. Yes, just reach around his head and grab his chin. I have not heard anybody say close guard. Got a new video coming out where we're going to be going over the close guard, and I think, especially against new people, I call the close guard the white belt killer. Even if they wrestle, bro, a close guard with some good attacks, your armbar triangle, omoplata, all the foundational stuff nobody wants to work on, that works really good. I have had good success hitting arm drags on wrestlers, leading with the head, especially if they are making contact and pushing hard with their heads. Get your grips and then get your hips around theirs. Man, yeah. He just gotta train more. Let's see, how different is 10th Planet really? And I think I'll go for maybe 30 minutes, guys. Actually, I didn't really do 30 minutes, but we'll aim for maybe 40 minutes on here. How different is 10th Planet really? Oh, could I pause that recording? I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see. Shopping for a new gym for my kids and me. Don't send kids to 10th Planet. Just from my perspective. And the local 10th Planet is very convenient. I was skeptical because trusted coaches of mine have advised that rubber guard isn't great to pursue for beginners, and I thought that was the foundation of their system. Then my kids' trial class turned out to be solid, very mainstream wrestling lesson. I found this encouraging, although of course it's just one lesson. Do folks really feel that 10th Planet gyms are teaching? What 10th Planet gyms are teaching is more different from what other gyms teach for no-gi these days. Anyone know to what extent curriculum comes down from the top versus being left to the discretion of local coaches? I guess I can live with some goofy terms and hand signs, but are they going to make my kids smoke weed and believe in flat earth? Yeah, that's part of signing up. It's in the waiver. It depends on where 10th Planet you're going to. Where the 10th Planet you're going to is West Coast. They're going to be following more like traditional Eddie Bravo rubber guard, half guard game plan. I feel like the West Coast and or East Coast and beyond, pretty much anybody not West Coast is gonna do more regular traditional techniques. With like rubber guard not being the focus. Usually they just do whatever. Usually they just do whatever is popular, like Danaher system, whatever Gordon Ryan's doing, or, whatever Jason Rao's doing, they have good coaches, and it's different, it's going to be all no-gi, which, if it's more convenient, do the no-gi. I feel like if you have kids, you should probably let them do some hybrid of gi and no-gi, which you're not going to get at most 10th Planet gyms, because, kids are going to have more matches in the gi, I believe. Of course, you have your ADCC opens and you have your Nagas, but if you guys ever go to the IBJJF tournaments, those kids are, man, that's where the world champions are coming from. Think about all your really good competitors, man. They usually, especially in the kids, they usually develop in the gi, in the gi, and then they move on to no gi later on. Think of good kids: Cole, Abate, Tynan, who else? Pato, Baby Shark. I mean, basically all the jiu-jitsu guys. They started as kids in the gi, and then they kind of matriculate into no gi later on. And Mika Galvao, even Giancarlo, predominantly gi competitor before moving to no gi. Cyborg, Kainan, Nicholas Margali. I mean, Jesus, that's basically everybody. So I think you should put your kids in gi, or maybe have them cross train at a different gym for the gi, and then do no gi with the 10 Planet crew. But I mean, yeah, don't overthink it. Just train. One person said, I've trained in a number of 10 Planet gyms and have never even seen someone do rubber guard in any of the trainings. Again, depends on where the 10 Planet is. I'm extremely flexible thanks to years of yoga, and took to rubber guard right away, or at least until I popped my LCL going for Gogo Plata. Yeah, so be careful popping your ligaments, especially with kids. Ligaments aren't as strong, right? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, just put your kids in training, man. There's another one. My LCL popped during sparring. Why didn't I feel any strain before it popped? That's like, why? Why didn't I feel anything before it popped? I mean, your knee was sore before it popped, bro. Probably, before the training or leading up to the training. I think most people kind of ignore their body's warnings. So swelling, pain, heat, pressure, different, your body lets you know usually beforehand, unless it's like a traumatic injury. He says, I love sparring, and in almost 2 years time since starting BJJ, nothing serious happened. Male, 43 years old. Of course, that ligament was going to pop, bro. You 43. Now, yesterday I was being attacked on an ankle, and I was just keeping my foot in L position, so your body is being strained, and I thought I was fine. I usually when I start feeling strain, pain in bad position, tap, because I don't want to get injured. No, you tap because of the position. before the pain hits. You tap before the strain and pain. I mean, it ain't gonna help you if you tap. I mean, right as it starts hurting, and you get injured. Yeah, you gotta tap before. The position was probably already locked in. And I don't know who he was training with. You got to be careful in some of these positions. Now clearly something went wrong. I mean, you're just getting older. Your body, what you could do 2 years ago, your body can't do now. Because I heard something pop in my knee, and it hurt when it happened. I was just shocked it happened just like that. No indication of strain or pain before it happened. It just popped, and I knew something was wrong, so I tapped immediately, just hoping this isn't something too serious. Anyone else have a similar experience? Well, usually MCL, you can usually come back from that. It sounds like I'm not sure what kind of ankle lock it was, but there was some strain on your knee as well. Hopefully it wasn't an Aoki lock or something, but usually that MCL can come back in a couple weeks to months. Of course, rehab and prehab, unless it's like a grade 3 strain or tear or something like that. Yeah, I think it's just getting older. You got to adjust your game, bro. You ain't got the ligaments of a 40 or of a 30 or 20-year-old. That's why one of the commenters says that's why knee attacks like heel hooks are so dangerous. There's not a lot of nerve activities in those ligaments, so you'll just feel some slight pressure, and then the knee pops in pain. All you can do is develop body awareness to tap early, and have good training partners that aren't going to kill you if they catch something. Wait, didn't you hear leg locks are super safe and no one gets hurt when it's done properly? All you need is have people. All you need is to have people who can control the position and have deep knowledge on leg locks. Very good hip flexibility, know how to escape, remember all the details. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things can go wrong. Your joints aren't designed for people attacking them. And that's why we do that in martial arts, but it's overall your body's just not used to being strained and pushed to these different directions and under so much pressure and tension. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, MCL, you probably come back from that unless it's completely torn off. Let's try and do one more, guys. One more. And maybe if you guys like this, we can. Oh, let's get a little video here. Y'all wanted the dog bar. Here's the dog bar. So let's see. Looks like Euros. Won't play the sound because I don't want anybody to get copyrighted or anything. Hit me with copyright. Let's see. I'm not sure who's going to go for it. Usually the person on bottom. Oh, no. Person on top. And the blackie's got the dog bar. And he's trying to straighten the knee out. There we go. Tap. Nice. Yeah. Woo, that dog bar. And you know what? I saw someone do the dog bar from bottom, and I guess you got the guy doing it on top. Let's see. Crab ride from top. My first match at Euros. Verum. Isn't that the kid from Australia? All right. Got 2 points for the coming in for the guard pull. He must be doing the top side. There we go. Nice. Man, you still a purple belt, bro? And right pass through. Nice. Let's do this one. This is a good one. Felt very bad energy from new rolling partner today. Today in class we drilled as usual and then rolled. We do groups of 3. And because my schedule changed, I went to an earlier class where I ended up rolling with people I hadn't met before. One of them was a kid around 18 to 22 in white belt class. And while he was more advanced than me, that wasn't what stood out. The whole roll felt bad. From the way he stared at me and the way he spoke to his overall energy, I felt something was off. It felt like there was something negative behind his intensity. Yeah, it's probably not you. He probably had a bad day and then just going to train and then, not even thinking about you, bro. Yeah, so I'm not even going to keep reading that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just personal. I'm not saying take in that bad energy to your class or your training. Sometimes, like, you got bad news. Sometimes bad news hits you and then you don't know how to address your feelings or your emotions, and it leaks over into your training. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Again, we don't know both sides of the story. I'm not even going to read this whole thing. I mean, yeah, I don't really focus on people's bad energy or not. I mean, isn't that a part of training? You should be training with people, different intensities, different skill levels, different vibes. Sometimes you're going to click and there's really good energy and you guys can kind of flow. And then other times you're like opposites and you're just kind of butting heads. And it's just like, man. And then sometimes I would see this, not so much me, but even to me, sometimes people bring out the worst in you. And it's all an experience. And, it's not always going to be fun. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes you get your butt kicked. Sometimes you're kicking people's butts. But yeah, don't feed too much into it. Maybe the guy was having an off day. It happens, bro. Life happens. One person says, tell your coach you don't want to roll with him. It's your body. And if he isn't respecting the tap, one of the most sacred rules of martial arts, he needs to be banned. Oh, yeah, I didn't see that part. Let's see. We started rolling. Our third partner would try to talk to him, but he barely responded and stayed overly serious, almost disrespectfully so. At one point, when I nearly got a submission on him, he seemed to get mad. And when he did submit me, he wouldn't let go right away. But even though I would tap many times, yeah, sometimes it happens, bro. I get upset if that happens. That happened to me not too long ago. And man, just get over it. I mean, you can roll with that guy again. Just be ready to go and go for it, bro. But obviously, if you don't feel safe, don't roll with that person. But that, I feel like that should be motivation for you to do better. All right, next time I go with that guy, man, I got him, man. I got him. Obviously, respect the tap. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to roll with that person. Tell your coach if you don't want to. But I think that's a chance to, like, really push yourself, You don't have to hold back with that kind of person. You can just go as hard as you want. And just try to keep yourself safe or you get your butt kicked again. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. If you guys want to see more videos like this, I kind of want to do more stuff like this, kind of more chill. and I could just knock it out. I don't have to spend hours upon hours to release a video. I could just turn on my computer and put the microphone on and just record. So if you guys want to see videos like this, just let me know. Otherwise, till next time, peace and ciao.